All right guys, so on the last video you saw we did our first 4-second pass. If you know me, that's never good enough. I know this thing's got a lot more in it. So we actually brought it back to the shop on Monday morning, took it apart, and found there was a cold side V-band that wasn't seated correctly, which tells me there's tons of power in it. It was not even sealing up the cold side. If you know how much a cold side leak affects power, it's night and day. It's Friday again. We are loading up the Nova and we're gonna go back up to Cordova. We're gonna trailer it this time just because in the interest of time and everything else, we're just gonna go ahead and do that today. But there's gonna be a different driver today. Andy's gonna drive it because he's trying to get his licensing passes for Rocky Mountain Race Week 2. He needs to get his NHRA license because this work in progress right here, we are planning to be racing at Rocky Mountain Race Week 2, which is a huge, tall order, but we're running out of time and we know that we'll never have time to race this one or make passes in this one to get his license. So I'm just gonna let him borrow my car, make passes in it, get his license. That way we can concentrate on getting the GTO done and ready. We're gonna start wiring it late next week, which means we have about a little over 2 weeks to get it wired, which is not very much time if you know. So it's gonna be a lot of late nights, a lot of working our butts off to get it ready, but that's what we're good at. We do it all the time. We're gonna go ahead and load the Nova up, go up to Cordova and see what she'll do. We'll start off with some easy passes because you have to by the books, and then we'll work our way up into some full quarter-mile passes. Got some ice in her. Need to check the tires. Andy is putting a race suit on for the first time in a long time. I put a baby tune-up in it, Andy.
That's all right.
You've never driven a leaf spring car, so I don't want you to get too scared about it.
Yeah.
But you have driven an IRS, which is not meant for drag racing, so.
Probably it's more sketchy than...
Probably equally unset up for drag racing as leaf springs ever would be.
Unintended, yes.
So hopefully it should go.
First pass will be a 3:30 pass.
Okay.
According to the rules.
So if you guys have never made a licensing, done a licensing day, you have to go like 330 foot, then you go 2 8-mile passes and 2 quarter-mile passes. It's pretty pointless, but all they're doing is making sure that you're capable of handling a car, which we all know we are. But it's just rhetoric. So Andy's gonna go make a 330, which will be good because he's actually never driven this car. He's really never even driven it down the road much, especially under power. And then a couple 8-mile hits, and then we'll turn it up. He'll make the last 2 hits, and then if there's time, I'll make one. But I think it should go faster. I really am just concentrating on the 8th mile at this point anyways. I really want to get like a 470, 460 out of it, hopefully before we head for race week. So we'll see what it does today. I don't know how good the track prep is yet, so. It's a little weird letting somebody else drive your car, but I trust Andy, I think. He's helped me build it, he's helped me be a part of it, so I'm not really too worried. This will be just a 330 hit. spicy tune-up. I kind of forgot it had been hot all day and they don't really have radial prep going on out here, so had to back her down a little off the line and let it get out of the hole. Maybe loosen up the front suspension a little bit, give them a chance to actually let it hook and go. So we'll go back there, make those changes, and go back up for another round. One of the good things about today is hopefully we get some good data, because this is kind of about how the tracks I would assume will be on Rocky Mountain Race Week. They don't necessarily straight radial prep them. You're in the middle of the day in the heat, so you don't always get the best, most ideal prep. We kind of need to come up with a real basic tune-up for any track, that way it just goes down. Last weekend we were a little bit spoiled. The track was really good and the car was going down, but yeah, we'll get it turned down and get a little A to B tune-up in it. That was a little spicy. That was turned down. That was turned down big time from last week.
It felt like it started to move, and I don't know if the ramp was.
It did. It just came in hard, and
yeah,
I think it's making a lot more power than it made before.
It could
too,
be,
so.
yeah. You may go like 8 on the launch, and then
stretch it way out.
The ramp way out so we can get out.
Just so we can get something.
Yeah, I just need to get some passes.
So because it's just, you know, a real basic boost ramp table, hopefully you guys can see this. All we're doing is we lowered the in the boost setup, we lowered the target to 8 psi, and then we just come over here to boost versus time. Start at 8 pounds at 0 seconds, so that's going to put 8 in addition to the 4 that's on the gate, and then we actually stretched it out to about almost a second and a half before it makes 20 pounds. I don't know what it's going to do at 20 pounds today, but 1.4, most stuff should go down, most tracks at 1.4. Last weekend when we were getting 1/260 foots, we were all in at 0.8, so at that. So this one should be a lot safer and should go down no problem. So in addition to turning on the boost, we tightened the front shocks, the extension quite a bit up last week because it kept taking more power and wanting to wheelie. So we loosened those up, went right down Broadway. He got off at the 8th, and then I think it coasted to like an 870 or something like that. Really conservative on power on the launch and then down track. So I think he's back on track. I'm looking forward to turning up the power and seeing what he thinks on it, seeing how far we can creep up and get his license, and then I'm going to jump back in the seat and see how fast we can get to go. I think that'll go down a gravel road. What do you think about it?
Dude, it was hooked. It was straight. It was awesome.
Felt good, huh?
Fun, yeah. It left good. What did it do? 128, 60 foot.
Dude, it looked like it was driving away from a stoplight.
It felt
good.
It felt good. It felt real easy. It's just
stable,
pretty straight, and
cool. Well, now we can turn it up a little bit.
Yeah, give it a little bit more.
It looked like it'd take everything from here, so we'll see what it does. So we'll get the ice changed out. This thing's pretty easy. Change the ice out, check the tires, check the tune-up, and send it back up to the front. So that pass went pretty well. The track's definitely coming around, so it hung the wheels just a little bit, so we'll tighten up the front shocks and get after a little bit more on the boost off the line and see what it'll do. Hopefully get Andy in the 7s here shortly. Got after a little harder.
It picked up the 100th full track, and that was about the same pass.
100th?
100th to the 60, and then about the same pass front to back.
So like 127 or something?
Yeah, 127 to the 60, 523 to the 8th, and I went 854. Not my car's gonna be boring now.
Andy, what's the fastest you've been before tonight?
939.
939. We're making a leap here.
And a nitrous box body.
Maybe your first 7-second pass. We'll see.
We coasted to an 8, so we'll see if we can.
If it don't go 7s, there's something wrong. All right, first 7-second pass of the year.
Here we go.
Let's go. Okay, so we may have gotten a little bit overzealous. We thought the track was a little bit better than it is. So, in the name of getting Andy's license, we're gonna turn the boost back down, loosen the front shocks back up, get him down the track, so we can get his last 2 passes in, get out of here, go home for the night, service a car, get ready for Rocky Mountain Race Week. But first, it should still go 7s, don't you think, Andy?
I would think so.
Well, 850 coasting.
I coasted doing 850.
Yeah,
so.
It'll still go 7. So that's cool. So we'll get under here, loosen up the shocks a little bit. Two clicks to freedom. So Andy went 809 at 170 something. I can't remember. We haven't gotten the slip yet, but now the starter is not working on the car. So we don't know if the solenoid went bad or the starter, or if there's some wiring that somehow worked its way loose. So we're gonna drag the car back behind Brian's Chevy Silverado, and I guess it's Sierra, and see if we can't diagnose what it is. But I mean, I guess this is why you come and shake them out, right? Shake them down. Make sure you find all those little weak links before you head out on the road for a week. So we'll figure it out, and we'll be back. The starter has officially gone bad. We got power all the way to it, but the engine doesn't turn over. So we're gonna replace the starter, and then I don't even know if we'll bring it back up, but we're definitely gonna bring a backup starter now for Rocky Mountain Race Week. Obviously they're not invincible. This thing's several years old, so what are you gonna do? But we did make some good clean passes, and hopefully Andy had enough passes on to make his license all go through. So we'll head home, get it fixed, and move on.